Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk, and today we are in Age of Wonders 4, and this video is going to be talking exclusively about one of the win conditions. Now, there are 3 different win conditions in which you can win your game with. Some of them are better used than others. Now, magic win condition, you have to get a few different things sorted in order for you to actually reach this win condition. I figured I would talk about it and the kind of things we have to go through in order to make sure this is something you can actually do within your game. Now, if we have a look at the write-up of what we need for the win condition, you can see that we need to build 3 province improvements. That is the seed, the root, and the heart of whichever affinity you choose to go down. Now, you unlock these by obtaining a tier 3, 4, and 5 tome, which you'll get through your research. Now, if you manage to build all 3 of these, also if you manage to research a tier 5 tome, whichever one, it doesn't matter. You then have to survive for 15 turns. Within those 15 turns, the game will generate an extra army. Now, it can spawn anywhere on the map, but we'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later. Right now, let's talk about the tomes and how we actually go about getting the different level tomes. Now, when you start your game, you're going to be able to research the basic tomes in which you choose. And then after that, you're going to be able to pick different tomes. So every time you get 2 of whichever one, like for instance, 2 tier 2. So I went for Tomb of Glades, for instance, and also Tomb of Doomhead. Those 2 combine and allow me then to research a tier 3 tome. And of course, I'm going to need 2 tier 3 tomes in order to research my first tier 4 tome. Now, you are going to have to pick an affinity, whichever way you want to go. It really doesn't matter. You can mix and match. In fact, you can get so far up in one affinity and then switch to another affinity. It doesn't matter. But the bottom line is you're going to need to reach that tier 5 tome on a infinity, whichever it is you want. For me, I went for the Tomb of Chaos Lord. But in order to get that tier 5 tome, I had to research 2 tier 4 tomes. And of course, once you actually manage to unlock that tome, as part of the magic condition, you have to actually fully research any one of them. Now, you can do whatever you need to do in order to get that research. So, for instance, there's a few different buffs that you can do throughout your game in order to give you more knowledge. But basically, the more knowledge you have, the faster you're going to be able to get those researchers in. And of course, there's a ton of different buildings for you to acquire early game and mid game in order to get more knowledge for this late game event. One thing I would say though, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you are generating. When you actually cast this spell, it is 15 turns, regardless of whether you're generating 1 knowledge or 5,000 knowledge, it's still going to take you 15 turns in order to reach that win condition. Now, as you can see, on tier 3, our tier 3 tome, this is where we actually unlock Seeds of Chaos. Now, this has to be built in order for us to activate our spell. And again, with our tier 4 tome, even though both of them are a Chaos tome, they both get us the Root of Chaos. Again, this special building is going to need to be built. Special province building is going to need to be built in order for this spell to be activated. And of course, we can then find the Heart of Chaos in the tier 5 tome that we get. Now, what I would say is you don't have to build these as soon as you unlock them. In fact, you can actually wait until you're ready to research that spell before you actually pop these down. So when you've gone your tier 5, you've researched your tier 5 tome, you can then build your tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5 building. And if you've got the cash, you can speed run these as well. One thing I would say, however, as something to think about in future, is that these special province buildings have to be built in 3 separate cities. They cannot be built in the same city. So putting them in strategic locations is a really, really good idea, because you're going to need to defend every single building you put down. And as you can see, when the invaders are ready to spawn, you will have that option. You physically spawn them. Now, the game will attack each of these buildings once. So every building you put down, it will get attacked once. There will be a 4th attack, and that can be completely random at any one of the 3 buildings that you need to protect. I'd also note that in the harder difficulties, the AI will be trying to attack you as well. So the other civilizations that are on the map. Now, in every single attack that I've had, the spawned attackers are attacking with around 2,000 damage. So that isn't a terrible amount, especially as you can bring in 3 armies, for these battles. As you can see, I way outpower them here. But it's important to note that, because having 3 separate armies of 2,000 plus power, on your 3 cities is going to be really important, or you're going to have that one army running between. It's probably not going to work. So even though you're going for a magic victory, you are going to need a pretty impressive army to make sure this works. And because of that, you're going to need to make sure that you've got the resources in order to, set those armies straight. A good amount of gold income, a good amount of mana income as well. Perhaps you want to, get yourself a load of skellies, or, spawn yourself those troops in. But anyway, that's all I have for you in this video. Hopefully that's helped. That is how you go about obtaining your magic victory. It is pretty straightforward. There are a few little hiccups, a few things that I wish I knew the first time that I went for my magic victory. I would plan to go for a magic victory right from the off if you plan that, because you're going to be needing to get early knowledge, and of course late game you're going to be needing that big army. But hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If it has, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, we do actually have an active and growing Discord as well. So if you want to join the Discord, chat about Age of Wonders and your experience in your playthrough so far, the link for that is down in the description. But until next time, I've been a monk who's been a Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.